Hey, what's up everyone? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me on another adventure. And today we have a very interesting review on this beauty right here. This is the Ruike L32-B multi-tool. As you can tell, it takes a lot of inspiration from the classic Swiss Army knives from Victorinox and Wenger, but it's completely unrelated. Once again, this is Ruike. That's a company made in China. I've been using it for the last couple of months, and I gotta say, although it does take a lot of influence from the classic Swiss Army style blades, it does also have its own unique attributes that I really like. So today we're gonna be putting this baby to the test. We're gonna stoke up that fire and start cooking up some good old-fashioned campfire cooking, some steak tacos, and then afterwards I'm gonna give you my thoughts on its pros and cons, and also compare it to a couple of Swiss Army knives and multi-tools that we have as well. So, thank you for joining me. Let's get started. So here is the blade when it's closed. Once again, it is by the company Ruike. You can see their logo right there. And they are an offshoot, apparently, of Phoenix flashlights, which is interesting. And Ruike makes a lot of budget-friendly pocket knives. Now, this is made in China, okay? So this is a Chinese-made product. I know a lot of viewers will have an issue with that, so let's just go ahead and get that out of the way now. With that being said, it has this really nice flat grind stainless steel blade. It is non-locking, okay? So just keep that in mind. You don't want to get careless with this thing. There's no lock on it. It does have a really good detent though, okay? So it does, you know, the walk and talk is really good on there. And I really like it. Now, it is a little bit on the thick side. It is about 1/8 inch thick blade, which is pretty thick for a multi-tool. But once again, I really like it. And like I said, it is stainless. It is a 12C27 stainless steel, which is a Sandvik steel, what you get like in a Mora Consbull, for example. One of my favorite steels of all time. And you can see that this has a pocket clip, which is something you don't normally see in the classic Swiss Army knives. And this pocket clip works great, whether it's on your jean pocket or on your haversack. Really works really good. So let's close up this blade. And then you can see the checkering here of G10 scales. I really like that. It just gives it a more contemporary, modern feel to the blade. It adds a little bit of grip too. The other tools you see here is a saw. So you have a wood saw here. Very similar to the Victorinox ones, like the Victorinox one-handed Trekker one. So, you know, making notches, whittling, you know, getting firewood, whatever the case may be. Once again, it is non-locking, guys. Keep that in mind. Bottle opener here for when it's party time. And then, of course, there's a cap lifter here and a flathead screwdriver. Here is a seat belt cutter. So in case you find yourself in an emergency, you can just cut through fabric right here. This is a serrated blade. Now, obviously, it's very rare that we're going to be getting ourselves into some kind of horrible car wreck that we got to escape it. So I use this a lot for EDC, like just cutting things that I would rather not cut my blade with. For example, clamshell packaging, plastic, zip ties, cardboard boxes, all those nitty-gritty type jobs. This does it really well. And then, of course, there's a very small flat head screwdriver right there at the tip. There's this, which is, you know, like a keyhole, which I don't understand why they would consider this a tool, because there's really nothing for it. And I really see no use personally for that. Classic corkscrew here. And here's a glass breaker as well. And then last but not least is right here. Hidden is some very robust and sturdy little tweezers. And these are invaluable when you're out in the desert because everything is out to stab you. So these are going to be used probably the most often out of all the tools here. So enough talk. Let's put this to good use. So we're going to start a fire because we're going to be cooking up some steak tacos and we are very hungry. So let's get to it. First things first, like I said, we're getting the fire going. I'm going to pull out the saw. Now, it's not a locking saw, okay? So just be very careful. So I'm listening to you guys. This has been a suggestion many times on my channel, is to place the saw down like this and then use the ferro rod this way. So first time we do that. Look at that. Good stuff. Meanwhile, the flames die down into cooking coals. Let's have a drink. So, let's get that bottle opener. It's party time. Whoops. Here's for Cuervo. Cheers, brother. So comparison time, we have a couple of other Swiss Army style blades out here. So once again, this is the L32 that we're reviewing. Now this is its close relative, the L31, which is Cuervo's blade, which is very similar. As you can tell, the blades are identical. Okay, the only difference is Cuervo's does not have a saw. What he has is scissors over here. So if you're more of a city slicker type of guy, you might like these better. A sturdy pair of scissors right there. Looks like a flying dinosaur, a pterosaur type of animal. And then while you have the scissors open, this one also has an awl. So check out this gnarly awl here. I'm just trying to be careful not to cut myself. Ugh, this thing, very, very stubborn. And that's one thing I don't like is this. I'm just gonna leave it there. Because, yeah, it's very stubborn, very pointy, very intimidating. But, if you're into leather work or anything like that, this might be the one better for you. Like, if you're into, a lot of repairs in terms of fabrics and stuff, I could see this one with the scissors and the awl being the better choice. Other than that, everything else is identical. The seatbelt cutter, the bottle opener, the tweezers, all that stuff is there. And, once again, as you saw, same exact blade. So moving on from there, let's compare it to the classic Trekker, which is one of my favorite knives of all time. Love this thing with this little spear point Kephart style shaped blade. As you can tell, they're about the same length, though the Ruike is slightly thicker, so it's a little bit more robust. Now just keep in mind that this is a liner locking blade. So if you wouldn't, if it has to be a locking blade, this one's probably the better choice. And then of course, just comparing it here to my one-handed Trekker that, as you can tell, is very neglected and I need to clean up, but same about same length. And then let's compare it to the blade on the Victorinox Ranger wood. Now this thing is a little bit bigger, about a ½ an inch to an inch more cutting room. Now I'd say it's about the same once once I just noticed that there's not a lot of cutting room over here at the beginning. So it is just a bigger blade, but when it comes to cutting real estate, it's about the same. Now once again, this one's also a locking blade. So you click this down so you can close that. While we're here, let's compare the saws, which this one's much bigger. Well, considerably bigger, but not, too large. Check them out. Once again, the Ranger wood is going to be slightly bigger. Oh, and then let's also compare the tweezers, because these tweezers are going to outperform the Victorinox ones easily. So check out how strong, how thick and powerful these babies are. Let's compare them to the little rinky-dink little tweezers from a Victorinox. Now, I shouldn't talk smack because I've been using my Victorinox tweezers for years and they get the job done fine, but I can say that they are a little bit on the flimsy side. Once again, let's compare these things. And apologies, the sun is starting to set, so it could be a little bit difficult to, get a good look at these, but check that out. So. So it's supper time. Bottoms up. So let's answer the question that I've been asked countless times these last couple months on social media. So I've been showing this blade a lot, like on my Instagram page and stuff like that. And I get this question countless times, which one do I prefer? This one or the classic Trekker or the one-handed Trekker from Victorinox, because I happen to be quite a tremendous fan of this blade. And truthfully, being completely honest with you, there's no clear winner here. We do have a review on this. If you want to check it out, I'll place it up here. But in the meantime, there's no clear winner because there's a lot of things that Victorinox still does better. Or the blades are better thought out. The tools are better thought out than the Ruike. For example, the Ruike is great in many ways. Having the pocket clip makes it easier to carry, either on your person, on your haversack. You don't need to get a pouch. Also, I do like the G10 scales. I think that really adds a lot to it as well. Also, of course, the 12C27 stainless steel, which is a steel that I happen to be a big fan of, which is going to be slightly superior to the proprietary steel that Swiss Army knives make. Not by a landslide, but it is a little bit of an improvement. Now, what I do like about the classic Victorinox blades is, one, it's a locking blade. Right here is it's a liner locking blade. I also like that it's a little bit thinner. You guys know me, I like a thinner type of blade. It's not, once again, not by a landslide, but it is slightly thinner, making it a slightly better slicer. Now, going back to the Ruike and its strengths, another thing I really like about it better is the tweezers. Of course, they're far superior to the tweezers on a Swiss Army knife. But then again, the Ruike ones I don't feel like they're as thought out as I wish they were. In this one, they give you a glass breaker. They give you a seatbelt cutter. So, these are things that invoke, a multi-tool that would go in your bug-out bag, in your emergency kit, something like that. But then they give you a corkscrew and a bottle opener. These are tools to me that are strictly luxury. They're strictly enjoyment, to open a bottle of wine, to open up a cold beer, a cold soda. Once again, that's not survival in my opinion. That's where this one is going to excel, because not only does it have a bottle opener, but at the same time, once again, we're talking about, in an emergency or something like that, I would much rather have a can opener. Well, folks, the sun is about to set. We're about to finish eating our dinner. Now, before I leave, I just want to let you know my final thoughts on the Ruike L32-B multi-tool. I really like it. Ever since I got it around late November, I've been carrying it every single day. And I gotta say, it's become one of my favorite blades. Is it perfect? I think there's some room for improvement, but once again, it's a very solid addition and a very solid first impressions from Ruike, because that's the first time I use them. The blade is very good for everyday carry, as well as you saw, camping, camp cooking, hiking, all that stuff. It's just a great little blade. The flat grind, the 12C27 steel. It is a little bit thicker than most pocket knives, but it's pretty good. It's still a pretty damn good slicer. And then, of course, we saw the other tools in action. We saw the saw. It's a fantastic little saw. It also has that 90-degree spine for striking the ferro rod, as you saw earlier. The bottle opener, of course. One item that we didn't show being used here is the corkscrew. I myself am not a wine drinker, but Cuervo Negro is, and he's told me that he's already used his, and it works just fine. So I'll take his word for that. And that's about it, folks. I really like all the additions like the pocket clip, the G10 scales. Now, does it surpass the Victorinox Trekker? Once again, I wouldn't say so, but it's a damn close call. Had this thing been a can opener, I may be inclined to say that I like this one better. Honestly, it's a really great blade. Very solid. First impressions from Ruike. This is the first time I used them. And great stuff. So, thank you, Ruike, for sending these to us. I'll have the link down below to our Amazon store if you're so inclined to check one of these out. Not only this one, but also the L31 that Cuervo has, which is identical in every way, except instead of a saw, it has scissors, and it also has an additional awl as well. So, If you want to check that one out, or several other multi-tools in their catalog, check it out down below. And also, every time you purchase one, it throws a couple cents our way so we can keep getting out here, having adventures, mainly for gas in the tank, because gas is expensive right now. And that's about it for us, folks. We are about to enjoy our dinner, finish up our cold ones, and enjoy the evening. So, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Comment down below for any questions, comments, suggestions. And we'll see you guys next week with another video. Now go outside and get your boots dirty.